We are at the Hattendorf farm in Bel Air, Michigan, just off of Torch Lake, and today I'm designing my first disc golf course. This course is on an Airbnb with 4 holes, a very well maintained fairway. It's a design your own course setup, and today I've designed 9 holes that I think can be challenging for the short distance because all the tall grass is going to play as hazard. So I forgot to mention 2 important rules to my course. You only get 1 disc plus your putter. And the second rule is that disc has to be 5-speed or lower. And hopefully we'll be able to use this a little bit on backhand and forehand today. We'll see how it works out. Hole 1, 205 feet, par 3, plays 5 feet uphill. All the tall grass on the course is playing as hazard, so you take a stroke penalty, but play it from where it lies. Let's start with an ace. So here's going to be the danger of this course is we threw a good shot, just a little long, ended up in the rough. So we're taking a 1-stroke hazard penalty, putting for par. Hole 2, 210 feet, again, just playing slightly uphill. We have a pine tree if we're playing in the hyzer, which is probably the safest play, or I think we're gonna put a little anhyzer on it and just let it drift in. Well, we're basket hunting today. Okay, so we stayed in bounds this time. And that's our first birdie. Hole 3, 170 feet, par 3. This one's designed to warm up the forehand, although you could spike in the backhand as well. Again, we only have about 12 to 15 feet surrounding the basket of inbounds. The rest is playing as hazard. So we're gonna just try to float the rift in on a forehand. Two straight. So it's going to be tough to get birdies on this course unless we're parked. So we're putting for par here from about 24 feet. Uh-oh, that's a bogey. Hole 4, 195 feet, par 3. We're playing back to the first basket. We're gonna try not to go into the hazard again. We're even through 3, which, yeah, I mean, you're not happy with that. But again, you gotta keep it super close to the basket. So we're really trying to dial in those touch shots. This one will keep wide and high. Get it to spike in a little bit. That was a bad shot, but we might be in bounds in the little trail above it. Yeah, I was aiming about 40 feet to the right. We've got about 22 feet left to the birdie. Hole 5, 220 feet, par 3, playing slightly downhill. The biggest challenge here is as we hyzer in, there's going to be a pine tree that's going to hold us into the hazard. So we either have to go above it, just before it, or intentionally hit it so that we push through and drop lightly. That looks good. Oof, long. Man, it's tough to get birdies out here. Oh boy, this isn't the putt that I wanted for par here. Guess I didn't account for the downhill. Get a little shrub in the way here. One day it'll grow up to be a big pine. Get a birdie, get a bogey. This is hole 6. It's 335 feet, approximately 20 feet uphill on a gradual slope up into the second basket that we used. And we're calling this a par 4. You can judge me if you want, but people who want to take the risk and go for it, maybe end up in hazard, can do that. It's a pretty good pump with a mid-range, or there is a bailout zone to the left, which would leave you about 175 feet into the basket, which isn't a guaranteed, as we have seen so far, that you won't land in the hazard. So we're gonna try this first par 4 of the course. So I think we're gonna take the bailout zone to the left there. So about 150 in. All right, we just need to put this one close. All right, we're right on the edge. Hole 7, approximately 175 feet, par 3. We've got 2 fairways for this one. Both of them are blind. We could take sort of the risky gap over here, and it'll probably put us in a safer landing zone just because we're hyzering into the inbounds, whereas the more open, equally blind gap is we can play it high, let it drift in, but we're fading towards OB in that case. One cool fact about the Hattendorf farm is it used to be a cherry and apple farm. We still have the apple trees that we're hyzering over right here. Those apples to this day are used at a mead creator in town, so we'll probably check them out later. We're gonna take the backhand hyzer. We need to push it out straight enough that as it hyzers back, it's hyzering into the basket. I'm gonna say this has about a 0% chance of working, but I don't know. That might be okay. Definitely shorter than I expected, but we did squeak by inbounds here. So we're probably about 35 feet. The trouble here is if we miss and go long, we're probably in the hazard. But we're not gonna miss. We missed. Hole 8, 350 feet. We're calling this a par 3, plays just about 5 feet downhill. The play here is either you go for it, try and get in the circle with a very small landing zone. If you are in the hazard, you probably will have a decent putt for par, or you can lay it up just short of the tall grass, and that'll give you a 30 to 35 foot par for birdie. We're gonna put it over this wood pile here and then let it fade back into the open space. So we're about 60 feet short, 65 feet, putting downhill from the hazard, 2 strokes. This is for par, and we can't go long on the putt either. I'm not really loving this lie here. Keep it safe. Back to even. Hole 9, last hole at the Hattendorf farm in Bel Air, Michigan. This is a 400-foot par 4 with a lot of hazard tall grass. I think the play here is to try and use the cutout fairway as a landing zone, cut the hole in half. That's not a gimme. Yeah, you definitely have to play it pretty close to center fairway, and then you're gonna have another approach in for about 200 feet, again into a 30-foot circle to stay inbounds for the birdie 3. Stick. So we could lay up short, use the road as a landing zone, give us a 30-foot putt, or we can try and spike it into the green. Difficult choice. I think this is a good par 4. We're currently sitting even, 3 birdies, 3 bogeys. And I think we got to go for the birdie. We're going to aim right at that pine tree, just to the right of it as it drops in. All right, finally we got it dialed in. Okay, we're walking out of here with a little bit of dignity, finishing below par, neg 1. It's a fun course. Playing with the Rift. That's gonna wrap it up at the Hattendorf Farm Airbnb disc golf course. This is the Maxi layout. We shot neg 1. Not too happy about that, but see if you can come out here, play my course, or just design your own layout. This is a lot of fun. We're right by Torch Lake. We're gonna go lay out on the beach today. We're gonna hopefully go get some mead made from apples from this farm itself. There's a little whiskey shop distillery there, and Shorts Brewery. Cool town, Bel Air, Michigan. Had a lot of fun making this video. It's not meant to be too serious. Thanks for watching. I'm headed out to the beach. See you on the next one.